Holy Spirit, guide me, please. The books of the prophet, it's Isaiah chapter 2, the future house of God. The word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. Now it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established on the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all the nations shall flow to it. And many people shall come and say, Come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we shall walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. He shall judge between the nations, and rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up swords against nations, neither shall they learn war any more. The day of the Lord. O house of Jacob, come and let us walk in the light of the Lord. For you have forsaken your people, the house of Jacob, because they are filled with eastern ways. And they are soothsayers like the Philistines, and they are pleased with the children of foreigners. And their land is also full of silver and gold, and there is no end to their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, and there is no end to their chariots. And their land is also full of idols, and they worship the works of their own hands, and that which their own fingers have made. People bow down, and each man humbles himself, and therefore do not forgive them. Enter into the rock, and hide in the dust from the terrors of the Lord, and the glory of his majesties. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, the haughtiness of man shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For if that day the Lord of hosts shall come upon everything, upon proud and lofty, upon everything lifted up. And it shall be brought low upon all the cedars of the Lebanons that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of the Bashan, upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, upon every high tower, and upon every fortified wall, upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all the beautiful sloops. The loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be brought low. The Lord alone will be exalted in that day, but the idols he shall utterly abolish. They shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, and from the terrors of the Lord, in the glory of his majesties, and when he arises to shake the earth mightily. In that day a man will cast away his idols of silvers and his idols of gold, which they made, and each for himself to worship, to the moles and bats, and to go into the clefts, into the rocks, and into the crags of the rugged rocks, and from the terrors of the Lord, and the glory of his majesties, when he arises to shake the earth mightily. Sever yourself from such a man, whose breath is in his nostrils. For of what account is he? Wow.